Good day, ladies and gentlemen. We are now in example 3.3 of the topic named compound interest. I've introduced you to the functions of the calculator, how to clear the calculator whenever you're using the functions present value, future value, interest, and n. Then now we continue on that same note. It says 1,000 is invested for 2 years. Now, the minute you invest an amount, we call this principal amount, and we know that the principal amount means the value at the present, called the present value. The amount is invested for a period of 2 years. That means this will be our n, and 8% at 8% per annum, compounded biannually. Take note of that. Biannually means twice a year. Biannual means twice a year, or every 6 months. Then it says, what is the final amount? And we know that final amount is the future value that we are looking for. So we're looking for the future value. We are given the present value, we are given n, and we are given interest percentage and the frequency of compound in a year. So now that means we need, as required, to calculate the value at the end of the period, which is sum accumulated. And I want to highlight, as I mentioned to you in the formula, that the interest must be divided by m in the formula. Similarly, when we use the functions of the calculator, your interest must be divided by m, which is number of compounds in a year, which in this case our number of compounds in a year are 2, because it's compounded biannually or 6 monthly or half a year. Then after we say we have plus minus, and I said to you that the amount invested, which is the present value, you must press plus or minus button, which is there at the bottom of your buttons, which is after the button 0. Plus minus present value, indicating outflow of cash. Then we say our interest, which is I divided by y, it is 8%. We need to divide this by 2, which is m. Remember, m is the number of times the interest is compounded, and if it's biannual, that means it's half a year, meaning 2 times a year, so we divide by 2. And our n will be 2 times by 2. Where is another 2 coming from? Which means that our n will be 4. Remember, we have invested this money over a period of 2 years. And every 6 months we are earning interest. And every 6 months we are earning interest. So we need to know how many 6 months do we have in a year. We have 2 6 months in a year. And for another year, we have another 2 6 months. So 2 times by 2, that means it will be 4. That means over the period of 2 years, the interest will be compounded 4 times, because we're compounding the interest every end of 6 months and every end of 6 months and every end of 6 months. So now that will be indicating that it will be 4. Remember once again that we can deal with this in terms of the number of months. We can say this is 24 months. So now if we have this 2 years as 24 months, we need to say how many 6 months do we have in 24 months. Then I will have to say 24 divided by 6 months. Where is 6 coming from is because biannual means 2 times a year. That means 2 times, meaning it's 6 months, which there are 2 6 months in a year. So now if you say 24 months, we will say 24 months divided by 6, because one compounding period is 6 months, because it's half a year, half a year. So now if you say 24 divided by 6, this should also give us 4. Let us say 24 divided by 6, this is giving us 4. So either way you are dealing with the number of months or you are dealing it with years, you still get to the same n as 4. But if n is in years, which is 2, you multiply by the number of compounds in a year, which is 2, in order to get 4. But if your n, which is your given, your n is 24, which is in months, in this case, you must divide by the number of months in a compound. That means the number of months in 6 months in this case. And I'll deal with this in an example 3.6 very much and exercise 2.3 if I'm not mistaken. Then now we have explained that. Let us then now calculate what is required. What are we required to calculate? We are required to calculate the final amount, which is the future value. So we say comp future value. We're calculating our future value. We want to know how much will be in the account at the end of 2 years, meaning at the end of 4 compounds, which is the 6-month compounds, which is 4 times over the period of 2 years. So now we say comp future value. Then how do we press this in our calculator? First of all, don't forget to clear your calculator. How to clear your calculator? Second function alpha 00. We say plus minus first 1000 plus minus 1000. We press present value. 8 divided by 2 I interest, which is I divided by y. Then you say 2 times 2, which is 2 years times by 2 compounds in a year. You press n after, which is 4 now. Then you say compute future value. Future value is 1,169 rand 86 cents. So now this is the value of this investment at the end of 2 years or at the end of 4 6-monthly compounds. Then which is 4 6-monthly compounds. We need to know how much interest was earned over the period of this investment. And the interest earned over the period of the investment, as you know, will be 1,169 rand 86 cents minus the amount that was invested, which is 1,000, and we can see that the interest will be the difference of 169 rand 86 cents. So now this is the interest that would have been earned over the period of this investment. So now this is the answer that we were looking for. Please don't forget, and I will be doing that now, don't forget that we do have a formula that we can use. Now I want to go to the formula while I still have these workings in front of me. If you remember, the formula said that sum accumulated. Why I can use the formula is because we are required to calculate the future value, which is denoted by sum accumulated equals A into 1 plus I divided by M into M times by N. That is our formula. Now let us do the calculations. Remember, sum accumulated, it is the future value. I want to highlight that. Future value is equal to present value, which is 1,000 of the present value, open brackets 1 plus. I said that when you work with the formula, you must make sure that your interest is in decimal. 0.08 divided by M. Remember, M is the number of compounds in a year. How often is the interest compounded in a year? It is compounded biannually. Biannually means half a year, meaning 2 times a year. So we divide by 2. Close our brackets to the power of M. Our M, it is 2 times our N, which is 2. That means if you want here, you can just put the number 4 and do the workings on the side. So now we do the same thing. We say 1,000, open brackets, 1 plus 0.08 divided by 2, close brackets. Second function, dip, if you remember dip, then after you say 4, equals, we get exactly the same amount as 1,169 rand 86 cents. So now it is very clear and very short with the formula. To be honest, you can use the formula, not a problem. But please make sure that your interest in the formula is in decimals, while your interest when it comes to the calculator, we write it as a whole number. The calculator automatically knows that this is interest because we said it's an interest. But the formula does not use the functions, it's just the normal buttons of the calculator. That is why we need to say 0.08, indicating that it is the interest. And you can see that we still divide by M, which is 2, the number of compounds in a year, and still divided by 2. So our numbers are really aligned. Then the future value minus the amount initially invested will give us the interest. Now I want also to highlight the fact that you can be given the future value, which is 1169.86, and you want to calculate the present value. So now that is still not a transmesh. You just use the information that is provided to you to calculate the present value of the question that you are dealing with. Now, let us now then close this question. Then we go to the next one, which is 3.4 in the next recording. Thank you very much. And the next recording, what I like about it, the fact that we are comparing different interest earnings, where we have 10%, 9.5%, and 8%. And I will be comparing the returns on these investments, and we take a decision in terms of which investment will give us the better return. So we await the next recording. You can prepare for it so far and revise it before you download or you watch the next recording. Thank you very much. Stay wonderful and stay awesome, and stay sharp and get as much marks as you